there's so many colleges now that are saying, with all this emphasis on performance, we just cannot afford to serve lower level students. It's too expensive. Let's concentrate on the ones that are college ready and kind of ship off the rest to adult basic education in the community. What would you say to colleges that say this is just not really a college population and we can't afford to serve them?
Well, I will say first of all that they are college material. Everyone is college material, and the only way to get them eventually into college is to help them where they are. We need to meet them where they are. And what better place than the college, than the community college, to house these individuals and give them the skills and connect them. I think that's what it is. If we don't bring them to the community college, they will continue to be disconnected. Our mission at STC, South Texas College Continuing Education, is to empower both individuals and employers with the necessary knowledge and skills to really help them fulfill both personal and professional goals. And that's not just the end, but we want them to use those goals for a better quality of life. One very special group of students, of individuals that we want to serve and that we've been serving for quite some time is the low skill, low literacy adults. You know that in the 2-county area that we serve, there are about 204,000 people over the age of 18 that have less than a high school education. And of those, about 124,000 have less than a 9th grade education. And of those, about 58,000 have less than a 5th grade education. So it's because of those individuals that we have created the Career Pathway Program, the Accelerate Texas, the Adult Basic Education initiatives.
Okay, I want you to start, today we're going to start with communication. Clear your minds. I don't want you to think about anything. I'm going to show you a series of videos. So what you're going to do on one piece of paper, not on your pink card yet, you're going to write ideas and thoughts of whatever come into your mind of one video. Then I'll show you another one and you're going to do the same thing. Okay? And so like you'll give your ideas and you'll give your ideas and then we're going to put them together on the card stock. Okay? Any ideas?
Now, come on.
AmeriQuest Mortgage, proud sponsor.
Okay, write down just 3 main ideas, 3 things that came to your mind immediately. That's all I want you to do for video 1. So you can put video 1 and 3 ideas.
All the boys are calling crazy girl. I hope she sings this tonight. I know. Hey Dad, pull over. We need to go.
Oh, honey? Here's some money.
What do we got here? Hello.
Well, so.
Okay, again, 3 ideas, just what comes quickly. You're not going to take too much time to think. Yeah.
What you say.
Here's the 3rd one. Let me back up just a bit. Okay.
Well, Saturday. It's like a deal you don't want tomorrow.
Daddy's gonna be so excited.
That killed him.
Contamination. It was contamination with the where they did the flag. They killed the flag. Can I kill the flag with the use of material.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about communication. We're going to discuss based on the videos that you've seen, based on the information that you gathered, we're going to make a list. We're going to compare and contrast. What matters in communication? What do you feel is important to you? And then compare the difference between the different types of communication, right? So that's what you're going to do right now. On your card stock, you have information here, right? You've got all these things that you've taken from the videos. Now you're going to put it on paper, and we're going to communication. Is it good? Isn't it good? What are the two types of communication that we often see, right? And then from there, we're going to pull out the concepts, the most important things regarding communication.
¿Es hora? Yes. ¿Cómo se dice eso? And we can misinterpret the situation based just on what we see.
So we have verbal and nonverbal language, right?
Because he was talking.
How are you this morning? This scrub top looks so tight on you, but very cute. I'm okay. Which one carries the most weight? The verbal
The non-verbal.
or the nonverbal?
The non-verbal.
You can say beautiful things can be coming out of your mouth, but you're like this. Guys, you look so great today. I love the black shoes.
Because she's showing you the non-verbal way.
I'm showing you the verbal and the nonverbal, right? So
And I'm telling her exactly what I'm thinking of what she's saying by rolling my eyes.
yeah, she was rolling her eyes.
I'm telling her exactly what I'm thinking of what
She's like,
saying.
thanks.
Yeah. Right?
So which one carries more weight?
The non-verbal.
It's always gonna be the nonverbal. Because, I mean,
You can say anything.
words can hurt you without a doubt. But in healthcare, when you go to take care of patients, right? I go to take care of Mrs. Science, to take care of a patient, you know, anybody, somebody's grandparent. The nonverbal part of me is what will carry over. And that may be the only thing that they see or hear because of vision impairment, right?
Right.
Hearing impairment. We know that they have
They might not be able to hear what you're
already
saying.
have all of these
Right.
challenges. So then we go back to, now I'm gonna ask you the question, and you're gonna write it down. Which one do you feel carries more weight? Which one impacts us more? No. It's gonna be the nonverbal. For some people, looking at somebody in the eye, which we've already had an example, is not, it's not a sign of respect, right?
There are some cultures in which the woman is not allowed to
Look at.
look out. They talk to you like this.
So in communication, we're gonna have to really keep, have a good understanding as to what is the best way to communicate and adjust to the other person. So now we're learning about communication, and now we have to adjust to the other person. Okay, so me and Mrs. Science spend a lot of time together, and she likes her space, and I don't know boundaries, and I don't know space. So every time we go together, I'm always like this, Mrs. Science. And she's always stepping back. She really is. And I'm always like, you want to eat together? Right? So that's.
We'll eat, but I'm kind of, okay.
Yeah, we'll eat, but she wants to step back. That's also part of what we do in communication, is being able to read that now I'm too close to her and it's making her uncomfortable, right? So when you go in to take care of a patient, you want at least to be arm's length away, right? When you introduce yourself, when you start to talk to them and tell them about what it is that you're gonna do, and always keep good communication. The thing that we need to know, that we need to take home today, is the difference between verbal and nonverbal. And how are we gonna work that out when we care for patients?
Well, what I see the most is the language barrier. So for that reason is that we use a lot of visual strategies, visual aids, and that can, videos, you know, that can help them, drawings and charts, graphics, you know, that they can discuss among each other. And of course, we're going to emphasize a lot the group activities, the activity in group, because, if since they have the language barrier, the others can help them. They might have the right idea, but they're not able to verbalize it. But the others can help them go through that verbalization of the right idea. Okay?
And vocabulary. Teaching them the vocabulary that's specific to the medical field or the field that they're in clinical and that related to the curriculum, but also just everyday vocabulary that they encounter and that they're not too sure. If they don't understand the basic words, then they're not going to understand the more specific terminology. So the vocabulary is very important.
What I would like to say about the strategies and using the strategies is it really allows me to see the student, and I'm learning from them what they know, what they don't know, how I can help them, and so really it's all about them. I'm able to see, if I use any strategy, I'm able to see what the student is comprehending, and then I can adjust my curriculum to that student or to that situation. So the strategies have helped me with all of my students, not just this particular group. Well, we use a lot the walkthrough gallery. We use that a lot. We use video, as Mrs. Saenz had mentioned. We do use the video.
So sometimes I ask my students for them to create their own video, to videotape themselves. And then the rest of the class look at what they videotape and they discuss and they give them ideas on how to improve it. And that's helping them learn too.
Their level of comprehension just leaps when they have something visual to reinforce it, like the movie that they watched for the infection control or for the mode of transmission lesson. When they watched that, they pulled things out of that movie that I missed, because I guess you had mentioned, since they process in English and Spanish, I think that, I don't know, they have an enhanced ability to understand things that they see that they have already learned in print and writing. I did not notice that with the students last semester so much, but this group definitely, if they read their material, even if they didn't understand all of it, once they saw the video and they were stimulated to make those connections, their learning in that particular subject was greatly enhanced. It would have been detrimental for this group to have English only, because if you allow them to use Spanish and English, then they can speak it both ways, and it just seems to expand their ability to grasp. Also, if they're not allowed to use a language that they're most comfortable using, it creates a level of anxiety that I think interferes with their learning.
We do have issues with the facilities where the students practice. They practice at the hospital, at the nursing homes, that they have policies that state they are allowed to speak English only. Yes, they do have those things. And sometimes we do have to kind of intervene, like reinforce that we do have a large community of patients that speak Spanish only. So we feel that our students should be allowed to speak both languages, especially if they can, If they're bilingual, let them use their Spanish with the patient that speaks Spanish. And yes, the facility says yes, as long as they're doing it with the patient, like they're communicating with the patient in Spanish, it's okay. But among the team, like with the healthcare team, they have to speak English only.
We all manage our classes in English, and we gear it all towards English. And if they say a word in Spanish, we immediately translate it to English.
So that means they say, well, I was trying to say, yes, that means this,
So that everyone else in the classroom can understand both as well.
So
and
that
so that
we don't
they
lose
know.
the rest of the class,
Right. So it's not a one way. It's we do allow them, if they can only think of the word in Spanish, then they can say that in Spanish, say the word in Spanish, but then we'll say it in English, and then that makes them think about it again in English. Or they'll say, oh, that's how you say it.
So we all feel the same way, that we want the student to succeed. And if we want them to succeed, we must talk. We must talk.
And work together.
And work together. We must communicate with each other. We must explain or discuss what the patient is needing at that point.
Yes, I have to have their support.
Yeah, and I have to have their support. I mean, it's not about me. It's about the students. So I do need them, and I mean, if I can help, I'm more than willing to help.
So keeping the group together, if you lose one in a group, it really, really takes a toll on the group. So as the instructor, you have to constantly adjust and identify maybe a weaker student that may need a different method in teaching, that may need tutoring. And so then we each will provide tutoring at any time, and anyone can come. Or we both decide on this day we're going to both come and we're just going to, hit standard precautions or make sure they understand infection control or whatever.
Or we're going to allow extra time for extra practice in the lab. Practice the skill again, review the skill, the procedure again. And we all divide the work, like, okay, you do the practice on Friday, I'll do the practice on Thursday, things like that. Like she mentioned before, allows you to identify where the need is or what needs to be adjusted.
You have to do the adjustment, and sometimes it's on the spot
Yes.
adjustment.
And sometimes, most of the time it's in different areas. It may be testing for one. It may be, a clinical
Skills.
for
Practice,
another.
hands-on,
And you have to identify the personality of the student as well. This one takes over and she talks too much, and this one's very quiet. So what we do is just you identify a student that you want them to engage more in the exercise. So either we make sure that everybody has a part in the exercise, or just she's going to answer. We mainly communicating with Denise, but just having that support, and then we can go and say, okay, is there any way you can talk to this student? Is there any way you can find out this? I heard them discuss, this situation. Do you want to look into it? And a lot of times it's the family situation that is
preventing them from being here or from being engaged in class because they're having a family issue or.
So Denise will intervene, and they watch over them. So they become a very special group, just based on Denise and Liz, because they watch over them, and this is their group, and they care for them throughout, which makes it much easier for us. The focused seminar, the focused staff development, allowed me to see teaching, instruction in a whole different light. And it's not just the non-traditional student, but I've been able to apply it to all of the students. And the strategies just allow me to see the individuality of each person and how brilliant they are and how they can communicate just amazing. And for me, it changed everything for teaching. The way that I viewed it, and like she said, you have all these objectives that you have to give them, and you have to make sure that they've got it. And when you just verbalize it or you show it on a PowerPoint, you don't know that they've got it. But when you do, you implement these strategies, then you can see the learning, and you just see how it just works. For me, it just really works. And in all of my classes, I use it.
First of all, this is all English, and we're a Spanish speaking group, most of us, but Ashley, and she speaks very good Spanish, and it has helped us, all of us, because we're getting more fluent in English. At the same time, we're doing our GEDs, which, it's a big thing. We're doing the CNA, which is a super extra plus, and since we're like broke the ice, I am continuing with the PCA program, and our instructors they're great. Miss Gerhardt, she's very patient. She's very kind. She has a way with people. She has a heart that I've never seen.
And I just want to say some things about this program. I think this program is an advantage to all of us because we've all been out of school for a long lapse of time. We all have our family. We all pretty much have somewhat of our lives settled. Coming back to school can be very time consuming, and it can take a lot of our time from our family as well. I think that doing the GED program with CNA, it's about 2 months for the CNA, and the GED is kind of at your pace, but I think it initiates you to give you the ambition to want to continue your education. After so many years out of school, at some point or another, you think you've pretty much been out of the field for a while, and sometimes it's just easier to continue living your life to something you're used to as to challenge yourself and continue your education. Time-wise, the program is not that long. The greatest benefit from all of it is the fact that it is paid for. It's the funds are provided for us. We do have some expense, but it's not out of our lead as opposed to having to initially pay for it all. Having a family to support at home, having kids, it's already taken most of, you pretty much work for your family. So having to pay for school, it's something that a lot of us have challenging, and having the opportunity to be here just because you have that ambition and you're willing to put your time and are willing to sacrifice some of your time, of your family, to devote yourself to a program like this. It's very fulfilling. I think everybody here is really appreciative of the time and the fact that they believed in us, that we'd follow through with this program. And the completion of this will be just the next step to an ambition, to a door opening up for ambition of more education to come.
And I am here because I am taking the chances to get 2 degrees or diplomas. At first, I wanted to quit because of my language. My first language is Spanish, and it's harder for me to take both classes, GD and CNA, at the same time. Plus, I am a single mother right now. I have to take care of my 3 kids, and taking 2 classes is harder for me. But I'm thankful of my classmates because they are encouraging me to continue. Because like some of us is harder to us to continue because of the language. So I am continuing because of my kids, first of all, to have an example. Like they can say, well, I am not going because you quit when you have the chance. So I have to be an example for them, and for me too. I tell them, I am telling you to continue, so that way you have a degree and have your own money. Like I cannot see you struggle like I am not right now. Like if I had the chances back then to have a degree or diploma, I could not be, like right now have all these money problems and, So I am, like they said, very blessed, and I want to thank all the funders because we have the chance to come and not to pay any money and to be better in our lives.
Well, I have been in this program, I think, like a miracle because, well, I have been trying to study. This is my third time that I start career. And in Mexico, I tried 2 times. I get married at 19 years old and I stopped studying. And well, I start again and things happen in life and I need to stop. And finally, I'm here and I want this opportunity to success. And right now, I'm like really happy and emotional and I don't know what to say. I have my kids are growing up and they are right now at the university. I don't have enough money to afford this, so I'm blessed.
I started this program because I was trying during 2 years to get my GED because I do my old school in Mexico, so I've been trying to save money in that, but I can't because I need to pay bills. And then I went to the workforce and asked for where I can get my GED. So they told me, no, go to STC. They're giving free courses for GED and that. So I came here and then we start from February making tests and that so we can qualify. We just qualified 12 and we've been here together from March here, so these are really good problems to approach because I was thinking always to be a nurse something, so it's here like the opportunity I cannot desaprovechar, como se dice?
Not take advantage.
Yeah, that. And so we're here. As I work a night shift, so I work night and come in the morning to school. It's really hard because I don't get that sleep, so, but every, ¿cómo dice cada esfuerzo?
Effort.
Every effort has a reward, so it doesn't matter. Is the work I do is just cooking or something. It's not that big deal. You don't get tired of that, but it's only that you need to get used to wake up all the time. So no, it's not a big deal. What? Because I work from 11 to some days to 7, but when I'm in school they give me to 11 to 5 and that, so to get time to go to my home and get dressed and all. And I don't know what else to say.